So this is my road to rank 1 series. Last time I was rank 4. This is the first game of the season. So I see several good options. There's 3 main ones that pop out to me. It's 1, this 5, 9, 10. 2, it's this 3, 5, 8. And 3, it's a 6, 9, 10. Now I think the 3, 5, 8 is actually pretty good since you do get this sheep port over here and you're on the 3 ore, which doesn't get blocked too much. But there's also this 5, 9, 10 over here. It's almost just too good to ignore. It's really strong. It's just because you're getting ore and wheat, and whenever you upgrade ore or wheat, it just snowballs itself into something very strong. And there's also the brick port over here, and there's also the 3-to-1 port over here. What I'm also noticing is that there's a really strong coastal spots. So the 8-4 pairs super freaking well with the 3-5-8. And also I'm noticing that the sheep is semi-rare since someone's gonna go here and here, and there's another spot for here, but it's just kind of rare. But the wheat is also rare in itself. So if I think about what's gonna be left for me, like let's say 1, let's say 2, let's say 3rd position goes here, let's say 3, then I guess 4, then 3rd position, then take something along the lines of maybe this or this. This person then takes something along the lines of this, or this, and then this person gets 6, 3, 11. Yeah, I think 5, 9, 10 has to be the best pick here. Just because I'm just calculating out the board, but you're getting one of the strongest brick spots, and there's a ton of extra wood on the board. So basically, this brick is going to be valued at a very strong price. 2, I think that there's a good chance you're going to be getting some type of 6-3-11 or 6-3-12, some cluster of like sheep wood spot. And basically sheep wood matches perfectly with the 5-9-10. And in general, there's normal principles. You want to be taking the highest producing spots. This is one of the higher producing spots, and the ore is rare. The brick is rare, and the wheat is kind of rare on this board too. I'm getting all the rare resources with some strong outs, which is my 2nd settlement spot. And then one concern I'm thinking about is someone could take the 8-10 also along with the 8-4. And if someone takes the 8-10, that's actually, it kind of makes my setup a little bit worse. I could see a world where basically 3-5-8 player takes 8-10, but also someone could easily take this 8-4. This is a very attractive spot, especially since there's so much wood on the board. I could even see someone doing the 4-8 plus 5-6-11. I could easily see someone doing that. But the 2nd position decides to take the 6-9-10, which I think is a very strong spot too. Yeah, decide to go ahead and lock down the brick. So in the 3rd position, they decide to lock down the 5-8-10, basically going all in on the sheep port. I do like the 3-5-8 just a little bit better, just because you're on the ore. And if you think about it, if you're on this 5-8-10 with all the sheep, what are you porting for? You're porting for ore. So if you're porting for ore itself, if you're porting for ore wheats, then I think it just makes more sense to just get an ore yourself. Just because a lot of people like to think like, man, if I have like 10 points of brick and on the brick port, I'm super strong. But in reality, what you're doing is your 10 points of brick is 5 points of whatever you want. So that production that's supposed to be really strong, it's cut in half. That's something that people get wrong about like 2-to-1 ports. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are strong, but at the same time, they can easily be misevaluated. So blue decides to do the 8-10 and 6-3-12. Yeah, I really don't like this at all. I think that's kind of a weak starting pick over here. Because in general, as 4th position, you want to be getting as much production as possible. But also, whenever you take a side coastal spot like this, what you're doing is you're giving your opponents way too much space. So not only are you taking a weak setup yourself, what you're doing is you're upgrading all of your opponent's setup too, just by taking like a weaker position like this. It actually matters a lot if black decides to take, oh my gosh. So he does decide to take the 8-4, which is a strong pick. I can't blame him. But one of the problems with taking the 8-4 is now this 8 ore becomes a massive target. So one thing that I like to do is I like to try to take solo ores, or basically solo spots where no one else would take. Because whenever you share like a strong ore wheat with someone, it's like the prime robber target. Everyone's going to be blocking the 8 ore. So before blue, this 8 ore is really strong because he's on it by himself. And no one's really going to solo block an 8 ore unless that person goes very far ahead, which is a good thing if you're very far ahead and you're getting solo blocked. But in this position, now me and black over here, we're incentivized to block the 8 ore just because it's such a great spot to block. You're locking down the ores, it's hitting 2 players, it's the strongest producing spot on the board. So black decides to go on the 2-4-9, and the entire board is open for me. Holy crap, the entire board is very much open for me. So as I thought, the 5-6-11 is open for me. The 6-4-3 is also open for me. The 4-5-11 is also open for me. So I think that there's several good options. I could do the 6-4-3 route and decide to just double up more ore and wheat and then point inwards for the sheep. That's one route I could take. And this way I just say, I don't need the sheep. I can just simply go with double wheat, double ores. And then because red has a bunch of sheep over here, I have brick wheat, which they both want. So I could easily score a lot of sheep trades over here. I could also do something along the lines of the 3-4-5. But the thing is, if I do 3-4-6 and I point my road right, the problem with this is that I'm racing blue for this 5-6-11/4-5-11. Now I could do this version where I decide to race with black by doing the 4-5-11 pointing left, but I think I'd rather race blue just because it seems like they're in a little bit worse of a position than I am. And also I share the brick with blue. I can also just take the 6-4-3 and simply ignore blue. So just do something like this, point my road left. Yeah, just like let blue set out over here, since I don't think blue's doing that much in this game. They kind of have a very tough game. But this 4-5-11 it does look pretty strong on my end. It almost feels like it's too good to give up, just because if I'm pointing my road to the coast, where am I even going, right? I'm going to the ore port, which sucks. I'm going to the 6 wood, that sucks. And if I point my road left, I can road building to the 8-3. And if I point my road right, I can still do the same thing to the 8-3. And I think the spots I expand to is a brick port and the 3-1 port. I think those are the 2 spots that I expand to. So I think I actually do challenge blue to the race, but I'm not super pressed to get it. I mean, I love a triple hex spot, but if I lose it, it's not the end of the world. Okay. So that's it for me in the first position. So let the game begin. But since this is also a new account, so my opponents are also going to be a lot weaker. Like blue's placements like screwed up the board a lot. Black's placements I didn't really like either. And red's placements I didn't like either. So, I mean, but this is just the low elo games. I have to just go ahead and finish it. I try to finish these games as fast as possible. And then we can go ahead and rise up in the elo ranks. We'll be able to start playing much stronger opponents. So no one actually has brick except for blue. So blue decides to buy a dev card, which is kind of bad since, you know, that spot is going to be, it could be a road building, you're plenty, or it's a night card. And if it's a night card, which it most likely is, he probably robs me. So I just rolled a 4. Let's see if anyone wants this. So I'm going to offer this to red. They're going to say no. I'm ready to counter 2 for 1 since this gives me a city. And if they say no, then I simply just pass. Cool. So red decides to not trade. So I'm just going to be ending my turn. I could also be hunting for sheep in this position. Actually, no, I can't. So another 8 rolls over here. So there's even more ore on the board, which is good since I'm looking for that city trade. Since this 5-9-10 upgrade is so good. So 11 rolls. There's not much this guy can do. This guy gets a city himself. Nicely done. Good job, red. Okay, that's my city. I roll a 5, and I'm going to be upgrading the 5-9-10 just because the brick is super strong, the wheat is super strong. Oh, this guy did get the road building. Nicely done. But he's still 1 card off from the settlement, though. Like, he's got a road and an ore. So he still needs a wheat sheep. But yeah, I would typically not recommend playing a road building whenever you don't have the settlement, since you almost lose the element surprise, and you're committing your roads, and that can still cut you off, too. And that might actually happen, since once I upgrade this, I'm going to be getting 2 bricks, and there's a good chance I could actually cut him off. Okay. So I roll a 10. Nicely done. So now this guy can trade a brick for a wheat or a brick for a sheep in order to settle over here. But he still needs it. So I'm going to be dropping my city on this turn. I'm going to go ahead and pass. The 10 rolled, so there's sheep in red's hand. The 6 rolls over here. Black is going to be wanting bricks now, but I can't be trading that yet just because I need the bricks offering wood wheat. It's not really worth it yet. The brick is too valuable for me. And the wood wheat, it doesn't do anything with my hand. Whenever I trade, I like to think about, does it, 1, benefit and improve my hand, or is it extremely valuable for me? So I like to basically like think about trades in 2 things. So like 1, is it like a value trade where I get like rare cards and get multiple of them, or does it complete my hand, which I like to call like completing a set, or like a set trade. But that's just my own like way of thinking about the game. So red rolls a 7. I should be getting robbed and blocked here. I think the 9 wheat looks like a really strong spot to block. Hopefully he does that. I could also see him blocking the 6. Okay, blocks the 9. Great job. Oh, he steals a brick. That's so bad. Man, it's like the 1 in 4. The brick's super rare on this board. Kind of sucks that it got robbed. And now red drops a road themselves, either on the 4-11 or to the sheep port. Probably the sheep port. Yep. Nicely done. Now it's blue's turn. Blue's still looking for sheep and wheat. Okay, specifically wheat. Blue doesn't have very much, you know, wheat or sheep. Okay, they decided 4 for 1 the wood for wheat. So now they have like they have brick, ore, and wheat in hand. Okay, roll 7 in my position. So brick, ore, and wheat, that stuff is pretty decent for me, and I am racing blue. But I think the person who actually has a best shot of winning this game is actually red. I could be jacking from red. Red's hand is... Oh, shoot, the bot just placed it for me. Well, I was going to put it there anyways. Red's hand is a lot of sheep and wood. I think I do want to steal from red to get the sheep, but if I get the wood, it's kind of bad for me. And I am technically racing blue. I think I'm going to go ahead and rob from red here, just because I need the sheep really badly. And I think that red just has a best position. And if blue gets the spot, they're not really strong either. Blue isn't that strong even if they get the spot. It's like, so what? You got more wood? And you still need a 3-1 port. Like, blue just has a lot to do in order to progress inside this game. So I can just go ahead and afford to pass. So another 5 rolls. Cool. Looking for any 9s or 4s. That'd be great. Another 6. Okay, I can go ahead and 4 for my wood. Yeah, this guy needs to offer an ore for a sheep to settle on the 5, 6, 11. But I think what blue's thinking about is dropping an extra road. Yep, and he does that exact move. I don't know why blue would do that. Now he's just left with a single, like, wheat and ore in hand. Like, his hand is so freaking vulnerable. All right. I could 4 for 1 for a sheep. I think that's also fine. Or can give red an ore in order to buy a second development card. I think that the answer is actually no in this position. I'm just going to port for it. Oh, shoot. I timed out. I'm so bad. Ah, shoot. Oh, man. Game 1, I'm already timing out. Okay, well, I meant to 4 for 1 for a sheep. If I roll a 7, that kind of sucks. No 7. Actually, punish me. I deserve to get punished. I feel so dumb. Okay, well, if I can get, like, a trade here. Okay, this guy settles. Wait. Ah, man. Okay, whatever. Okay, another 5 rolls over here. Red has got more wood. I got more ore in hand. I'm just waiting for the 7 out. I deserve to be punished in that position. Okay, so blue decides to end his turn. That's my turn. Let's not roll a 7. Okay, I roll 5 and I'm saved from the gods. Let's go ahead and see if I can try to get like a greedy trade. Let's see if I can try to do something like this. Or if I can try to offer something like this for 2 wheat. A 4 for 2. Let's see, 2 for 2. Let's see if red wants a 4 for 2. Actually, that doesn't even do anything for me. That's stupid. I'll do something like 4 for wheat maybe. And it helps me buy a city and a development card. Blue says yes. I'll go ahead and take it with blue. I'll offer the same trade again. Or another ore for wheat. Actually, I don't need to actually do this. So now I can simply just go ahead and buy a development card. Cool, I got a knight. Since I already have a knight, I have 2 knights already. I don't need to buy another one. I can just drop a city. And now my position is looking very, very strong. I feel bad for my opponents. But see, like how like this 4-5-11 really wasn't necessary at all for me to win. Black rolls a 7, and black should be blocking me on the 10 ore or 10 brick or the 5 ore. Cool, and jacks for me, especially since I have a lot of ore. I think you want that. Steal from me, please. Okay, good. Okay. And then black finally drops his road over here. The problem with black's situation is that they have no ore, and they're going to have a lot of trouble upgrading to a city. Now, they can eventually build to the 5-2, but the problem is their setup is just too slow. Oh, they decided to play an aggressive knight. Hopefully they'll put it something back on the 8 ore. No! I mean, I think from their point of view, it's like red's position is very strong. It is actually very strong. It's actually very comparable to me. I am 2 development cards up on red though, so I do think I'm slightly more ahead. But red has a power of flexibility, especially if they get a city on the 5-8-10. Suddenly their setup is very, very strong. Like now, every single time 8 rolls, they get a development card since, you know, they have the sheep port, they have ore, they're on multiple diverse numbers. Everything is portable. Like the 5 wood is also portable with the wood and sheep port. So red setup is actually very, very strong in themselves. And the way I can beat that is by making sure that 8 ore is pinned down at all times, trying to make life miserable for red. Ooh, and just got a 2-for-1 trade. Nicely done for red. And I still have a lot of trouble with pacing in my position too. Like I still need to be able to get sheep, and you still need to be able to maintain largest army here. Now, if you look at my position, great, I have 2 cities. It looks like I'm in a great spot, but I need to buy more development cards. I need to buy development cards consistently. Okay, blue decides to buy a development card here. Oh my gosh. Now, like, you're so far away on the race. You got 0 cards, and I can still pretty easily beat you here. Red is the only person who can really win this game, really. Now, I can't buy any more cities because I'm already out of cities. So the only move I can do is 4 for my ore for a sheep and buy another development card. And I just need to make sure that red is consistently pinned down as much as possible. Now, I get a road builder myself. Now, I can either go into 8-3 or the 3-1 port, and both of those options are really strong. Or I can go to the 4-5-11. I have a lot of good options. Like, the 8-3 is actually not bad at all. Like, I might consider doing that. Just because I double up on more ore, I start sharing red's sheep, so now red, it's harder for red to outpace me. But I can also just go on the 4-5-11. That's just way too good. Getting it on the 4-5-11 and the 5 ore. Okay, decided to buy a development card instead. Perfect. And giving red 3 cards would be a bad thing. So now red's hand is very good. Once again, they can always port their hand every single turn, but they're probably going to buy a development card on their turn. Okay, they decide to drop another road. Okay, I guess trying to lock down this 10 spot, which I think is good, but I think it would be even better if red could focus on trying to get a city on the 5-8-10 and buying a bunch of development cards. I think that would make red setup exponentially stronger. Since the 5-8-10 city is so like flexible, like every single card can be ported here. And red gets blocked at the 10 sheep and gets jacked by the bot. That's kind of sad. And it gets jacked by the bot again. Oh no. And I roll a 7 too. At this point, I feel like we're just bullying red. Okay, and I steal wheat. And I'm just gonna pass, since there's not much for me to do. This is the sheep in red's hand, and this is exactly why like I wouldn't be offering 3 wheat for a single sheep. Red, you're on the 8 and the 10, so you're likely to roll a lot of sheep anyways. Okay, black does have 2 knights now, so they are ahead of me in the army race. But I'd rather be playing my knights like defensively, but I guess it's still not on me, so. Okay, there's the 9 over here. Black is doubled up with a 9, so they get wheat and brick, which is exactly what they need to settle over here. They're starting to offer sheep for brick since they're trying to settle over here. Oh, cool, another 9 rolls. Man, let's see. There's not much rush for me to do that much. Okay, so the 8 is blocked. I can just simply do this. I think this is the best move. Yeah, I think this might actually be the best move. And I don't actually buy dev cards, since I already have 3 playable dev cards. So if I buy more, it's just simply going to clog my hand. Okay, cool. I'm going to talk to black, have ore. And basically, when I say I have ore, I can trade. I'm basically signaling to black that, like, I know that you have a lot of wheat in hand. Let me try to do an ore for brick trade. That's what I'm looking for, specifically. I mean, black's basically my bank anyways. I don't really care too much. And I'm offering this trade just because I know he wants ore since he needs to drop a city eventually. But also, I'm looking to get that brick so I can go ahead and win this spot over here. Red's offering sheep for 2 cards. You hold for a city. Basically, he says, what do I do with ore without sheep? Well, you can do more than just buy a development card. There's also the city. It'll cost 3 ore and a wheat. The thing is, black doesn't generate that much ore. They need to generate it 1 at a time. Oh my gosh. They decided to cut off red. Road settle. Yeah, red traded their own plow. Black, like, no, the 9 rolled multiple times. And let's see if I get robbed. Okay, good. I should be getting robbed. I was hoping that red wouldn't revenge rob black. And they drop a city themselves. So now red setup is very, very strong. Like, I could easily lose this game. Their setup is super, super, super strong. Okay, I have to roll first here, even though it's on my 9 wheat, because I want to plan to play my road building. Oh my gosh, that's annoying. I think something like this works. I could have bought a dev card last turn, but I think this is best. The reason I think I like dumping the 4 wheat here is because I'm probably going to get a wheat from red. I got a brick instead. Cool. That's perfect. That works with me. Let's see if I can get a wood. I doubt it, but maybe with black. Maybe if I can try getting 2 ore for 2 wood, I can go ahead and settle. Let's see if black likes this trade. And also offer like a wood 2 ore for wood wheat. That also works with me too. Okay, nice. They say yes to the trade. That's perfect for me. So 2 ore is very good for black since now they're closer to that city they want. But now I can go ahead and cut off blue. And they just came back, but, you know, they left again. And after I cut them off, which I would want to do also. After you lose a spot, the game is very difficult for you to win. And now I have a bunch of extra wood production, but at least now I'm closer to the 3-1 port. I can actually process the production. One thing that people don't understand that well is that not all production is useful, which sounds weird. So because this 4-5-11, it's a lot of use. It's kind of useless production. The sheep is good. I'm already a lot of wheat and a lot of extra wood, but I can soon get on this 3-1 port, and that helps me process a lot of that production. So the 4 rolled, red's buying more dev cards. I'm actually very, very scared of red. So I can play a knight card now. I'm going to go ahead and put it on red. I'll probably get a wheat here, which sucks, since I would rather have a sheep. Now, do I 4-for-1 my stuff just to get a sheep? I think that's actually worth it to clear out my hand. If I can be actionable rather than not being actionable, I think that's a good thing. So I get another knight card. That's good. And yeah, that's very strong. I'm glad I blocked this 8 sheep over here over the 8 ore, because once again, blue is pretty much a dead player. And then, like, no, this is 1.5 cards for red every single time. But I think with red's hand now, they drop another city, but they're going to be looking for sheep. So black decides to do 3-4 to get a city on the 2-4-9. Nicely done. I think as black, I might have actually taken the city over here. Maybe. The 2-4-9 thing is, all this extra wheat is kind of useless without the ore you need. So instead, I think as black, I want to upgrade this and then build my roads to the 5-2. So the 8 rolls, that's very, very, very bad. This is not good. Uh-oh. Okay, they drop a city. Good. Dropping a city, I think, is like not as strong of a move comparing to buying like multiple dev cards. Because if you think about it, the city kind of gradually decreases with value. Like your first 2 cities are very, very strong since the best 2 spots. But the more and more cities you buy, the worse the city quality gets. Most likely not going to buy a 3rd city here. Even though it is like a lot of production, I'd rather be focusing that on my win condition, which is largest army. So I want to be making sure to be using that instead. And red in that position, instead of dropping a city, if they simply bought 3 dev cards, I'm very, very scared of them. They have a very strong shot of going for largest army. And also they can simply just get VPs to win that way too. So red's 8 sheep is blocked. And I think I might actually play an aggressive knight here. Maybe. I have to think about this. Okay. I think so. I'm not totally sure. The reason why I think this is necessary is because I want to maintain largest army pacing with red. I think that's what I'm going to do actually. I think this is a fine move, doing this. And it's the last thing I would want. And also, I want to be blocking the 8 sheep, since that's like the super roll for red. We'll get a wood. And I'll simply just pass. The worst case scenario is red plays a knight card, and then buys another knight card on their turn. And then suddenly, I lose largest army, and that puts me in a very bad position. Okay, cool. I have a lot of extra wood in hand. I can continue to keep buying knights. Okay. Under the 5, that's pretty strong for me. So I think I could either do a double 4-for-1 on this turn, which is very, very expensive, or I can simply do a single 4-for-1. If I do a single 4-for-1 for a wheat, what does this do for my hand? If I buy a dev card, it puts me to 7 cards. I think in this position, you actually want to go ahead and do double 4-for-1, which seems so disgusting. A double 4-for-1 for a settle. I think that's the right move. Because if I buy a dev card, I only bring myself to 7 cards, and it doesn't clean up my hand that well. If I do a play like this, which is very expensive, I get to go ahead and empty my hand at 3 cards instead of 7. So it makes me a lot less prone to 7ing out. And in addition, if you think about it, I'm very close to actually winning the game, since I need a single tender roll, which is my brick, that can take the longest road and the largest army on the same turn. Okay, so I do get jacked here, deservingly so, on the 5 ore. Oh man, and that 8 is so good for red. Okay, red decides to use a Year of Plenty. Cool. Red decides to buy a dev card. This could be a victory point, putting them at 7 points. Now they're only 2 roads away from 9 points. If they decide to jack me, that's totally fine. Okay, they steal wood. The unfortunate part is I'm going to get to 8 points here, and now my opponents are going to be very scared of me. And the problem with my opponent being very scared of me is that red's actually in a killer position. If they can bink, get a few more 8s, then suddenly they're just basically set up to win. So I have to go ahead and solo block red here. Man, that 8s just keep on rolling. There's not much I can do except for simply just wait and pass. I have to get 2 points before red can get more points themselves. Okay, let's see if this is a knight card or not. Okay, it is a knight card. Cool. So red, okay, decides to jack me on the 5 wheat ore, which I think is right. The 6 rolls. Okay, cool. So red basically can still take longest road. That's a very big concern. Like whenever the 8s roll, they're absolutely crushing it. And they can still easily burst the win just by, a lot of 8 and 4s or a lot of 8 and 5s. Decide to buy night card themselves. Okay, cool. And I have to be careful to not lose my largest army to red. And so if this is another night card by red, oh geez, that's not good. Yeah, this is a night card by red and then buy another night card. Suddenly I lose largest army. And then whenever I lose largest army, the game is pretty much over. 7, 5. Yuck. Okay, that's not good at all. Since red could get road booting, red could win on the next turn with another 8. This is not good at all. Okay, VP. That's good. Okay, I'm also close to winning myself, but red's putting up a very good fight. I simply just had to pass, I think. There's nothing else I can do. 7. Yes! Okay, I got lucky. I got really, really lucky. Okay, good. The thing is, red can still win, though. This is not good. I have basically a 1-turn window. So the reason I say that is if this is a night card by red, they buy another dev card on their turn, and suddenly they take my largest army. And since I'm going to be getting robbed here, I have to try to get a city before red takes my largest army. I don't know if I can actually do this. We'll see. This matters a lot who they rob, too. Okay, the 5 wood. Cool. Oh, man, it took the wheat. That's bad. That's bad. Actually, it's not that bad since I roll like a double wheat with 4 and 9s. But the problem with him jacking the wheat was that a 5 was a winning roll. Well, actually, no, it's not since he jacked the wood instead. Oh, geez, that 8! That 8 is so bad. Oh, gosh, now they're 8 points. Now they're 2 roads away from winning. This is probably a victory point. Okay, 5? Okay, good. Okay. Now, I got a lot of winning rolls. 10, 9, 4, they're all winning rolls. Another 5 is also a winning roll, too. 10, 9, 4, 5. Win! Oh, shoot! What do I do here? I think I have to pool. The problem with pooling, if I get a year plenty, that's good. Road bidding increases my outs a lot. I hate porting the wood, but I think it's worth it. Oh, geez. Because I think there's a good chance red wins on their turn, right? Because if an 8 rolls, they have a VP, they simply take road. 3, 2, VP! Oh, dang it, it's a knight. Gosh, dang it. Oh, that's not good. That's not good for my position at all. No 8, no 8, no 8, no 8, no 8, no 8, no 8. Okay, 6. Okay, I'm getting bailed. So red might have a mono too, so I want to spend a lot of cards. Someone needs to take road, man. But there's no brick on the board. No 8, no 8, no 8, no 8, no 8. Okay, 7. That's good. The problem, he might take my wood. Ah, shoot. If this is like a VP plus year plenty VP road building, oh, it might be since he didn't move it. This is not good. What's the second dev card? Maybe they're at 9 points. Okay, good. 6. Cool. Yes, okay, they took road themselves. That's good. That's really, really, really good. Thank you, bot. Thank you, bot. You're amazing. Now, I think I have to go ahead and block. Red's hand is like, what? Tons of ore, sheep, wood. I could do this, but they also win with the freaking 8 anyways. I think this is just the best block, but it could be the 4. Since if the 8 rolls, does red win anyways? I don't think so, since they don't have much wheat. Okay, get the ore. Win? Yes! Yes! Okay, that was close. That was super close. If red rolled anything right there, any 5, 8, 10, 11, or 4, I think I would have lost. Oh my gosh. GG. Okay, this is supposed to be my placement games. They're not supposed to be this close. I'm like, oh, I can easily crush these noobs. I guess not. Red is actually a very strong player. They played that game pretty well. Like, I actually really like what they did. The 5, 8, 10, the 8, 4. I think that I probably would have dropped the city over here. I would have decided to buy more development cards. And also, red got 1 victory point plus another card over here. But what's confusing to me is if red had road building, they should have played it to win. If they have night card, they should have played it before. If they have that a year plenty, they simply can play that to win. That a mono, they can simply monopoly the cards to win too. So I don't know what red's second development card was, since I thought it was 2 VPs. So maybe they made a mistake right there. Here are the dice stats, the activity stats, and they lost 13 cards. Red got robbed. I got robbed. I was a very, very close game. I thought I had that in the lockdown at the very beginning, but the 8s just started soaring and doing very, very well. Since red's on the 5 and the 8s, and that accelerated red's game a lot. And when you're doubled up on it and you have the double ports for it, I mean, that's a great setup. It's a great opportunity. But I got lucky for this one and was able to clutch it out. So that's my first win on this new account. And let's hope that I can continue to make it to rank 1 this season and, actually do it this time. All right. See you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.